Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Just Fun Stuff. We are doing a speed build today, and it is never too early to be working on spooky season. We've already done a creepy carnival. We are now adding a haunted pavilion to Funland, and I'm really excited to get started. Lots of castle walls, lots of really nice customs, so let's not hesitate. Let's get right to it and get this build going. So this is a 2-day process for this build. We needed to start by putting up a cliffside because this is going to be a 2-leveled pavilion, and we needed to put in our staircase. And we've gone ahead, put in the staircase. We've paid got Lloyd set up, I should say. We haven't paid Lloyd yet. And I just wanted to continue making the outline for day 1 so that we had the base layer of what we're going to be working with set up so that when we come back day 2, we're all ready to go, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pay Lloyd, and we are gonna get to work on the next day. Here we are. Our staircase is in. We're adding a little more cliffside. I didn't know how big I wanted this to be, but I knew I wanted it to be a fair size. I went on Pinterest and I found these customs for the ground cover, and I thought it's just such a nice dark kind of spooky pattern, and it goes with the dark castle walls and medieval building sides that we're going to be using. I thought it looked really cute, and what we're doing is outlining our cliffside that we put up to make it an enclosed pavilion type setting where there's going to be some chairs and trees and gazebos and decorations, but you can already see it coming together. It kind of has a creepy castle feel to it, and I love that for spooky season. And I love that we're going to be using spooky trees and the spooky lanterns as well as the new items. I like mixing the older items that we have with the newer items. I think it's so much fun. Right now, we're doing the castle walls. I didn't want to do the medieval building sides along the bottom as well as the top because that's a lot of light, and I want the lanterns and the street lamps that we're going to be putting in to really shine through. So I decided to do castle wall on the bottom layer and the medieval building sides on the top layer. I also wanted to integrate some simple panels in that dark lattice pattern because it looks so pretty, and it kind of breaks up the castle-y feel. It gives it more of like a courtyard pavilion feel. So that's what we did. We went ahead and kind of broke up where the castle walls were, added some of the simple panels, and then we're going to put some fencing behind the simple panels as well. So it's going to also break up the top so you can kind of see through. At this point, Poppy's adding more of our flooring or tiles because with every build, we start with one section and then we work our way out as things progress. So now we're adding more of the panels, more castle walls, a few more panels towards the end, again, just because it looks so nice. Now the fencing, of course, we're using the spooky fencing, and we are gonna use that, like I said, so that you can kind of see through, and it kind of breaks up the whole castle feeling and gives a more open air feeling. Street lamps with banners. I found the cutest custom for hanging spider webs or cobwebs, and I thought that worked so perfectly in a haunted pavilion. And of course the spooky tree, and we did that in the monochromatic colors because it just matched everything that we're working on. Now we're setting up the chairs because every pavilion needs a seating area. I mean, that's the base of it. It's an area to come, an open air area, usually attached to a house, hence the medieval building side, so it feels like that there's a big building in the back. But like I said, it's like a big seating garden area, but this one's not very garden-esque. It's a little more spooky. And again, the beginning of our spooky season. We're just readjusting now and making more room because obviously we need to eventually close off this pavilion and cover up the edge of the cliffside so it looks like it's a solid structure. So again, adding more of our custom tiles down to the bottom because I want to take this out as far as I can. The cool thing about this build is that I'm going to be able to move around some villager housing, and then I'm going to be able to extend it. Like, I can put extensions on the cliffside and create a complete offshoot building coming from this, maybe with a secret passage. That might be really cool. Something to look into as spooky season progresses, but you can see it starting to come together now. And it's not a haunted pavilion unless there are ghosts, and I had this ghost custom from last season and I just love it. It's just so cute and I like putting them all the way through, and it adds to that spooky feel. More street lamps with banners. These ones are tattered. I didn't want to use the same cobweb pattern that I had used on the ones on the top. I just wanted to switch it up, give it a little more depth, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Adding some more tile. And now the spooky towers. There's a few spooky towers up at the top of the building. I wanted to put in some trees around it, but I didn't want beautiful leaved trees, so we're using the baobs. I'm never gonna say that right. I think I need to look up the phonetic way to say that so that I do say it right, but I still don't have the decayed tree DIY. I've been searching desperately. That would have been perfect to put around the outside, but we didn't have it, so again, we went with the baobab, and now we're adding a little more spooky fence, because again, closing in our structure the best that we can, and I love the spooky fence. It's so pretty, although there are a lot of new fences that came out with the update that are really cute that you could use as well, but the spooky fence works best for this, I think. Now we're putting up some more castle walls again to close off the area, putting up some wood partitions. I had wanted to use the spooky arch in this at the top of the staircase, but as you'll see as this progresses, it doesn't work because I didn't make the base at the top wide enough, so it's gonna tell me that there's no space, but in a perfect world that's what I would have done. Adding some candles and some more street lamps to add a little more light and add a little bit more of a creepy feel. Put in some garden benches down at the bottom. I'd put in some spooky trees inside, but it didn't work the way that I wanted it to so much, so I decided to take out the spooky trees, put back everything that I messed up trying to move the spooky trees, and we'll go ahead and add them on the outside of our build, but we need to add more tiles, so I decided to break it up a little bit more and add the cute little patterned tile instead of just the black and gray, just to kind of add a little more, again, dimension, a little more pattern to it, and then put the spooky trees on the outside of the building, and I think that works just as well. It's gonna light up the outside, and they just look so amazing. But you can see our little haunted pavilion coming together. It's really, really starting to take shape. I was so happy with the way it was working out. I'm, again, like most people, obsessed with the castle walls and the medieval building sides. They make building so realistic and just, it's almost elegant looking. It's spooky and elegant all at the same time. That's where I tried to put the spooky arch up, and I just didn't leave enough room, so I might go back and actually widen the back, maybe buy another layer of the cliffside and see if I can put the arch up there, but I did end up putting it at the front of the building, and that worked just as well. It kind of closes off that entranceway. Added a couple more ghosts because, again, it's haunted, but this is it. This is our spooky pavilion, our haunted pavilion. I think it turned out really well. I'm really happy with the patterns, the designs, the ghosts. I love using the spooky items. I love the lamppost with the banners because it gives us a lot of freedom to really customize our builds. I love the cobwebs. It turned out so great. The ghosts look good. The outside looks good. You can see all the different banners. I'm excited to extend it. And of course, this is one that you need to see at night. So here it is, all lit up. And I think you can see why I chose the castle walls at the bottom and not the medieval building side, because I love the creepy lights along the top from the medieval building sides. But I like it being a little bit darker and using more of the spooky items at the bottom. It turned out really good. I love the lampposts with the banners at the front, all of the spooky arches and lanterns. You can see the ghosts at night. Definitely a haunted pavilion. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you already have. You're amazing. Thank you so much. And we are going to be back with more Animal Crossing videos.